Hello, everybody, again. I hope you're very well wherever you are. My name is Georgia Byng, and I am reading from Molly Moon's incredible book of hypnotism, which is a book that I wrote. We've got to chapter 22, and for you to look at today is this picture, which I picked up in a junk shop. It was in the sort of trash pile, really, and I think it probably would have just rotted because people aren't interested in pictures usually if they've got holes and things in them, which this does. And I just love it because it's so strange. And I thought it suited today's chapter because Molly is in the middle of dark Central Park and she's in trouble. So I thought this was a good backdrop today. Not that every picture has necessarily been an illustration of a chapter, but this one is quite good, I think, for this chapter. So here we go. Chapter 22. The man began to climb the bandstand steps. The anticipation and fear were too much for Molly, and her teeth began to chatter. She clenched them shut, only to find that her head was shaking. A chill December gust blew the smell of the man towards her. It was a foul smell of chip fat, sweat, and old tobacco, and it made Molly feel sick. As the man came up the wooden steps, Molly saw that he was wearing headphones and strange dark glasses with a spiral pattern in the middle of them. In one hand he was holding a briefcase and in the other a microphone. This was wired up to a machine of some sort on his belt. He was clad in a sheepskin coat and he was, Molly decided, definitely very, very weird. But nervous as he made her feel, with resolute purpose and great control, Molly concentrated on bringing her eyes up to hypnotic peak. As he stepped under the bandstand's dim light bulb, she looked up at him with her eyes on full glare. "Welcome," she said, very slowly, intent on putting this nasty rat into a very, very deep trance. But instead of being stopped in his tracks, the man took another step towards Molly and pointed his microphone at her. "I'm afraid, Miss Moon, your hypnotic eyes will not work on me, since I am wearing anti-hypnotism glasses designed by Dr. Mesmer himself. As for your hypnotic voice, I am not hearing it. This device is processing what you say and scrambling your tone. Through this, you sound like an alien from outer space." Molly was stunned. Then she saw the golden scorpion that hung around the kidnapper's neck. Its diamond eye flashed in the moonlight, and to her astonishment, she recognized the ugly face of the shouting professor from Briarsville Library. At this point, peculiarly enough, Molly's fears fell away. She actually felt relieved to see the professor, since she'd been expecting a terrifying maniac kidnapper instead. And Molly felt strangely comforted to see somebody who knew Briarsville. It was almost like seeing an old friend. Molly tried to think logically and quickly. The professor couldn't be a kidnapper. So the kidnapper must be somewhere else. She must warn him. Or did he know about the kidnapper? For a second, Molly was confused. Then her mind flashed back to the Briarsville Library. She saw horribly clearly the professor shouting aggressively at the librarian. He was demanding a book which she had lost, a book by Dr. Logan, the book which Molly had stolen. Molly looked at the professor's extraordinary gear. Within the time it takes to net a slow butterfly, she realised that she was in deep trouble. "Let's get straight to the point," the professor began. "I know your tricks, Molly Moon, or should I say, Miss Cuckoo. I know exactly how you operate. I know where you come from and what you've done. That hypnotism book you found, well, it was mine. I paid for it. It was my property. I've known about Logan's book of hypnotism since before you were in diapers." From behind his squirrely spectacles, Notman stared at Molly, and he found himself feeling very excited. For the truth was, deep down, Notman was actually starstruck by Molly. Everyone else was starstruck by her because they'd been hypnotized to be. But Notman actually was. In his eyes, Molly was dazzlingly talented. He'd seen her at work and he respected her. Molly, he thought, had the makings of a great criminal, and it was a pleasure for him to meet her. So, since he felt they were more alike, he spoke in a more gentle tone. "As you can see, I've been very put out by you, Miss Moon. It has been extremely tiresome, although entertaining sometimes, to have had to chase you about. It has pushed my patience to the limit. I think you'll understand when I say that I expect something in recompense for my inconvenience." Molly's heart thumped. This was extremely unnerving. She wished somebody else would come by, and she looked about for help. Notman said immediately, "If you want to see your dog again, you mustn't think of getting anyone else involved. You do want to see your dog again, don't you?" "Yes," Molly nodded unhappily. Notman sat down on the bandstand bench and reached into his pocket. "Here," he said, chucking a red leather strap into Molly's lap, "is her collar." Molly bit her lip. "Now," he continued, "this is all going to be very painless, I promise you. In fact, you might even enjoy what I'm going to ask of you, Molly Moon. But I warn you, once again, you must do as I ask. Because if you don't, I assure you, you won't see your pug again. And there will be many, many more people in New York who'll learn about your little secret. Let me put it like this. I'm sure a lot of people would be very upset if they knew how you had deliberately cheated your way to the top. In fact, in a court of law, you could be convicted of fraud, a crime for which you could go to prison if found guilty. Of course, someone of your age wouldn't go to jail, just to a young offenders institution instead. But I've heard that those institutions, well, they ain't very comfortable places. Much worse than bad orphanages." Notman smiled with a sinister glint in his eye. But Petula," Molly stuttered, "is she okay?" "We'll come to her." "What do you want?" Molly burst out. "Money? I've got loads. Just tell me." Molly's mind raced. How had this manipulative, sordid man found her? She hated him. "Money," Notman chuckled, "in an indirect way. Yes, I do want money. There is a matter," he said, opening his briefcase. "Yeah, there is a little matter which requires your cooperation." Notman took a large envelope out of his case and with a gloved hand passed it to Molly. "This envelope contains all you need to know in order to help me. I want to borrow your skills just for a day. It's a small favor in return for the good fortune that my hypnotism book has brought you." "What do you want me to do?" Molly asked, taking the envelope as if it was about to blow up in her hand. "I want," sighed Knockman lazily. "Well, the first thing I want, of course, is the hypnotism book. The book of hypnotism. That goes without question. The second thing, this favourite thing, is I want you to help me rob a bank." And that is the end of chapter 22. Well, whatever you do today, don't use your hypnotism to rob a bank, because I'm not sure that's a good idea. Well, I know it's not a good idea. And I think that's what Molly's thinking too. So let's see what happens, shall we? And until I see you again, happy hypnotising. Bye.